going on, world? No more Op4. Another gear review video for you. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Trailblazer Sawvivor Saw. This is the 18-inch model. One thing I wanted to kind of change up for you guys, I've got some suggestions, friendly suggestions and not so friendly suggestions, some of them, that I should get out and show the product in use more. So just came up with the idea a little while ago. This is the first time I've had a chance to do it, but to do an in-the-field review. ITF for short, that's just what I'm going to call it. So today, again, looking at the Trailblazer Sawvivor Saw, again 18-inch model. The frame of the saw is anodized aluminum. The different assembly parts of it are made of stainless steel. It's got flip handles. Let me loosen it for you and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It does have a nice little foam handle on this. It's a very light saw, weighs under 10 ounces. The blades can be stored internally. You can store more than one down along here. Basically you just slide the blade in. I'll show you that in a second. You can probably store, I would guess, at least 3. Probably not too many more than that though. There's the blade, and you can see it just has these loop holes, not loop, but basically holes on the side. You attach to the little studs on the handles, and then the tension system works. Basically when you tighten it, it just comes down and it puts tension on the blade, so it's sturdy in there, locked in there pretty good. My thoughts on it, it's very good for someone that's trying to keep their weight down. It's about 10 ounces. I would say light to medium duty. You know, I've read other reviews and I kind of get irritated. This applies to anything, but when people get angry that a product doesn't do something that is really out of its scope. When you take a little saw like this, obviously you're limiting yourself by being able to cut down 100-year-old trees with a 4-foot base. You're not going to be able to do that. With an 18-inch blade, you're going to have trouble sawing really anything over 6 inches in diameter. But that being said, you know, you could probably get away with about that without really wasting a lot of energy. You'd probably be better off at that point going with something like a survival knife and cutting that segment away with the knife. But you know, that's something else. Something like the RTAC 2, for example, previously reviewed. But this is a good light to medium duty saw. Again, you know, 18 inches. It's small. It's lightweight. It's easy to pack. Takes up a very little amount of space when packed away. Again, the blade just goes in right like that, and as I said, you could probably fit about maybe 3, maybe a little bit more than that into the saw. Right now I just have one, but only thing I really think that is kind of a negative is it doesn't have, at least I didn't get a sheath for it, and some of these edges are very sharp. So if you have a synthetic pack, you want to be careful where you pack this. You don't want it to rip if it's on a corner or something like that. You know, just a cheap little sheath you could probably get at REI or Gander Mountain, Cabela, something like that, to put this in just to keep it from scratching up the inside of your pack. May be a worthwhile investment, but I'm going to show you a little bit of how this works when you're actually cutting. So I'm going to give you an example with the saw on first a small size fallen piece of dead wood. I've propped it with another piece so that as I get through the cut, the weight of the tree doesn't come down on the blade. In jam, I have WD-40, that'll help too, but as you would expect, makes pretty short work out of that. This is a good sized piece of wood though to start getting a fire going. Got my gloves on because I'm going to be doing a lot of woodwork today, and blisters really make that a pain in the ass, so just my mechanics gloves. Yeah, this is very dry. This will be a good piece of wood. I'm going to cut this into smaller pieces. Okay, so I've got this fallen wood here. It's dead, obviously, and I'm not sure how dry it is. It feels dry on the outside. I feel like this only just recently fell, so I'm going to saw it open here to see if I can possibly use this for firewood. But this is probably, for the 18-inch model, the largest I would try to go. So I'm going to cut it open here just to see if it is dry. If it is in fact dry enough to be used for firewood, I will try to cut it through for you here. To get it started before I really start going fast. It seems pretty dry, so I'm going to continue to cut through. Almost cut all the way through. Just wanted to bend it open a little bit more. And there you go, a little damp, but I'd say that's about 5 inches. There's so much fallen dead wood around here. I haven't even had to walk more than 10 feet to find another piece. I've just been working on this branch right now. Got a decent amount stockpiled already. Not anywhere near the amount that it would take to last through a cold night, but you know, it's late September. It's really only in the low 50s, high 40s at night, so a couple weeks from now it's going to be a little bit colder, but you know, not really necessary to have too much firewood. The only thing we'll really need it for is just cooking the fish that we're going to catch, and you know, it's obviously, as it's been said many times before, just good for morale. So and what I will do is a piece like this, I may baton it, but I've got enough smaller pieces here to baton that this may just be, maybe I'll cut it in half again, but this would be the size of wood when my fire is at its largest that I would just throw on. So guys, that was the Trailblazer Sawvivor Saw 18-inch variety. It's a great option for a lightweight saw if you're, really weight conscious, not trying to, weigh yourself down with a 10-pound saw. This is going to be good for you. Just 10 ounces. It's a great lightweight. 18 by 3 inches wide, pretty good size, and again, light to medium duty, so use accordingly, plan accordingly depending on where you're going. But for this type of environment, this saw is perfect. Made short work of, I found this dead tree here, and made pretty short work of that, so got a nice amount of wood for a fire. This amount here would be good enough to at least, boil some water and get my food cooked, which is going to be those fish in that lake right there. But to come in another video, stay tuned. Probably late next week you'll see that one coming out. It is last week in September. This is No More Op 4. I'm out of here, guys.